Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008.
Hi, and welcome to Common Ground. I'm your host, Ashley Hall. Common Ground captures the creative process of various artists living throughout our region. We delve into the veiled history of our area, plus we take you inside the cultural events that put the North in North Country. On this week's episode of Common Ground, watch as a group of experts in Asian brush painting share their knowledge with the Brainerd area. We visit the funk-tastic Bemidji band Uncle Shurley as they entertain and explain the historic origin of their unique name. Plus, join us at the Bemidji Community Arts Center as we take a tour of artists who use wood as an art form.
Asian painting is among the first that ever came to be. It helps us to understand history better. It helps us to understand other cultures. It just opens our whole range of interests in a way. I was approached by the library to apply for a grant using the legacy funds. Because of their encouragement, I took it on and thought it would be wonderful if we could get this group to come to Brainerd and introduce more citizens to this type of painting, which I dearly love.
Our group is a Minnesota Asian Brush Painters group called Ming Chow, and we're fortunate enough to have this space for a two-day workshop. The painters in our Ming Chow group learn from each other. Some of us have studied in other countries, Japan and China and so on. I studied at an art academy in '87. First of all, I got hooked on the brush. And all of my watercolors or whatever I did, I had to have a sumi brush, which the sumi brushes are made from usually bamboo handle and animal hair. This, for instance, would be from a sheep or from the beard of a goat. The white, which is softer, and it actually is wool. They do not use acrylic or fake brushes at all. So the hair you don't ever use soap to clean it. You can use ink with them, you can also use watercolors. And so we have landscape, and we have still life, and we have flower, calligraphy. This is a painting of a tiger, but then these are the calligraphies for tiger. So you would begin with the oracle bone, which is done on like turtle shell, or carved into cave walls, or on bone, and then the next is seal script, which is on your red chop. This you would get in a book right now. You wanted tiger, it would have to be. And then this is called running grass. And this special kind of paper called rice paper, it isn't necessarily made of rice, but sometimes it's linen, and sometimes it's cotton. You can paint on silk. It's just called rice paper, which means it's an Asian paper. And the ink is blacker, even way blacker than India ink, and you can make it go to like 7 tones or 7 colors. The paints have minerals in them. They last longer, they're more permanent than the general watercolors that we use when we paint with different colors. So it's called Asian brush painting, or sumi-e, which means Japanese ink. And so a painting is a sumi-e painting. Your style of painting is sumi.
Regarding these characters, like Dee was showing you more than one version of them, those early ones were a little bit more pictograph than some of them are today. And I'm told by Asian people that it's important to understand the original oracle bone characters for a lot of these words in order to understand today's calligraphy. I love the spontaneity. You pick up the brush, you load it with dark ink or color and do a few strokes, and you have something. With my experience with painting, I do a very detailed type of subject and spend lots of hours, and even though I enjoy that, I just love the spontaneity of being able to do this quickly, and just can be done beautifully if you get the right amount of water in your brush, right amount of ink, right amount of color, and the right stroke on this very absorbent paper. It's just fun. It does take some practice, but it's a labor of love.
The rain is gone, huh? We're welcome to come out and play. Sorry it was an hour late. I love you! I'm Shurley! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting. I'm K-Love, this is Uncle Shurley, and we are ready to come out and play. And I'm glad you guys are too. I know you guys. I'm Caleb Fricke. I'm with the band Uncle Shurley. Jake and Rob were making music in their other band. And Norwood and myself and Mitch Blessing and Royer came together and we started playing some music around town. I think our first gig was a green party, a benefit. And we called ourselves Small Potatoes back then. But I don't know, I can't remember, it's too long ago. Anyway, we started getting together at Rob's basement. Rob's basement had some spare room, and he was always Sergeant Bunny on the dials with the computer and the technology, and got to record us. And then he thought, you know what? I got some bass chops. And you know, we went from there and just started jamming together. You want to hear the origins? The origin of Uncle Shurley. In 1907, the town of Bemidji got to open their Christmas present, and it was the railway lines. And along with them came a circus. Along with the circus came the freak shows. Along with the freak show was the bearded ladies, and one of her names was Uncle Shurley. I know. I love Uncle Shurley.
My name's Norwood, and I play the drums in the Uncle Shurley band. I'm a Bemidji native, born and bred here all my whole life, and yeah, that's what I do. Started playing casually for fun in high school with my garage band. Been in bands ever since then. I'm an autodidact. Taught myself everything I know. I guess I got an ear for it, you know. It's easy for me to pick out the different elements in a particular song and reduplicate them myself. So, you know, and I practice takes a lot of practice, just like anything else.
My name is Rob Carruthers. I play bass for Uncle Shurley. Been with the band since the beginning of the name, and maybe a little bit before that. Caleb, I've always been inspired by his voice, his energy, and probably one of the most charismatic people that I think I'll ever meet in my life. It's a lot of fun to play with him, and Jake's an amazing guitar player, and Nate and Norwood. It's a privilege to play with these guys. And it's our art. It's not just like where it's a sculptor or a painter, but you're actually making art with 5 people. And you got to coordinate 5 people together to complete the work. And it's different every time it's played, you know, but it still can be called the same name. So I think it's even extra challenging to get a piece of work recreated every time we do it, with the input of 5 distinct personalities and people coming together to pull off this thing, and do that 30 times a night with 30 different songs, you know. So I think it's really what do they call it, performance art. It really is. I mean, in the most literal sense, is that we're coming together and putting our talents and our skills into one pool and seeing where that can come out of.
I'm Nate. I play percussion for Uncle Shurley. They lost a band member, and I stepped in. Caleb told me to bring my stuff down one night, and I did, and I haven't left. We just listen to each other. It's communication without words, really. It's through sounds that aren't of a specific language, you know. I don't know, it's just being able to understand each other through like looks and nods and a tap of the foot. And it makes perfectly good sense to all of us. I'd like the community to know that they are as much a part of this as we are. We're doing it for ourselves, but we're also doing it for them, and without them we wouldn't be where we are and who we are, and a lot of what we are and what we've become and what we're going to be is all because of the people around us.
My name's Jake. I play guitar for Uncle Shurley here in Bemidji. It's a great time. We get to experience a lot of interesting events and participate in a lot of community gatherings, and overall it's a really enriching experience in my life. I like to perform. I like to create happiness in others, and I get to do that with the band. We work off each other and learn from each other in so many ways, and at the same time I'm privileged enough to perform for people who enjoy listening to the sounds I make and we make as a band, and that's a really powerful experience. You can't really, there's nothing else to compare it to in my experiences.
It's life for me. Someone was asking me what's life all about, and I was thinking it's all about the hell and heaven that exists, and it's all about the emotional ecstasies and downturns, but we're a family, you know, and we go through it as if we are family. We make mistakes, and there's forgiveness, and there's jamming music. What I'd like for my community to take away from us and the experience is that we're all welcome into this family, into the music experience, because it's all within us and every soul is each other's, I believe, in a community, and we share and we come together and eat. I think it's all about our love that we give, that we can give, and the love that we're received in. And we're an umbrella. I believe we're an umbrella for the creative juices that flow around us.
Bemidji is known for many, many things. Rightfully so. It's beautiful. Strong tourist base here, hunting, fishing, canoeing, bicycling. Paul and Babe, obviously, the Bemidji Sculpture Walk, the beaver sculptures. We also have an arts community that works in wood. And this provided an opportunity to bring those people together and to show such a diversity of work, different voice, different vision, that we hopefully appeals to everyone. I approached the Arts Center board to have a wood show here at the Arts Center about 1.5 years ago. And all of these woodworkers, I've seen their work over the years, and I knew that we all worked in our own style and with our own vision, and I thought it would allow us to pull together a show that would be of interest to a broad cross-section of people in this community. We conducted a survey in Art in the Park, Bemidji Art in the Park, in 2009, and interestingly enough, we asked, why do you come to Art in the Park? And the number 2 reason people answered was for wood. So we thought, well, how can we get more people in the Art Center? And one thing led to another, and we proposed a wood show, and our wood focus show, and today I'm very, very pleased with how well it's come together.
I'm Dwayne Shoup, American craftsman, woodworker, and we're at the first ever Works in Wood at the Bemidji Arts Center, and having lots of fun. And we got some awesome stuff that local people have made to show, and it looks like we're getting a pretty good crowd. Well, I think one thing to get your work out there in front of people and people see what you're doing. I mean, a craftsman needs a little bit of inspiration to go back to his shop, so it feels really good if you got somebody that really enjoys looking and seeing what you're doing. I mean, and it makes you feel good, and it inspires you to get out there and spend all those long, grueling hours by yourself, slaving away, making sawdust, and trying to come up with something really nice that people will enjoy. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, and as you can see in this show, there's some really nice stuff that some good woodworkers put a lot of time and energy and creativity into doing.
The exhibit that we have for the month of September and October is called Works in Wood. It's featuring 9 artists from our area who work with wood as an art form, as a functional form, and the work varies from ukuleles and canoe paddles to settees or end tables. So it's a wide range of work, a wide range of styles of work, and it was an opportunity for us to show something that's thought of traditionally as just a functional item or a useful craft as elevating it and its art as well. The Bemidji Community Arts Center features monthly exhibits. This particular exhibit will be up for 2 months, Works in Wood. Some of our exhibits are up for a month, some of our community exhibits like the 5th grade invitational. Our focus is visual arts, but we also do things with the literary arts where we host a couple times a year our spoken word event. The Bemidji Community Arts Center is here. It's free and open to the public. We're here Tuesday through Saturday. We feature work by anywhere from community groups to our 5th grade invitational, and then we'll do things with local artists like the Works in Wood to our National Juried Ceramics Competition, which will be opening in November and run through December. What I think is exciting about this show is it shows the breadth and the depth of the work that's available by our artists in the area. Not only with the Bemidji Community Arts Center, but a lot of the other organizations that are participating in our First Friday Art Walk on a monthly basis, you're going to see work from all over. And I think it's surprising for people to realize how many artists are in the area, the quality of work, the variety of work, and the type of work that's available. It's very exciting. Bemidji is starting to become known as an art center, and with things like the Bemidji Community Arts Center, our symphony, the local artist guilds that are operating, the sculpture walk, the theater, whether it's our summer stock theater or the other groups that are participating in theater year-round, it's really become known as an area to really enjoy and participate, and I think we're attracting artists to the area to live here as well.
My name's John Lemby, and originally I'm from California. I'm a San Francisco native who has moved to Bemidji. I've been permanently based in Bemidji for about 5 years. I've been working on my house here since I moved for the past 5 years, and I've built a studio here locally, but I haven't been able to find enough time to get back into the studio. Dave Towley, a wood turner here, asked me to be part of a show. He just sort of said, "Oh, you do furniture, don't you?" He's never seen any of my work, and I said, "Oh yeah, I do furniture." And he said, "There'll be a show in a year." So with that commitment, I started doing drawings for furniture pieces. I got some drawings that I liked, and then the challenge was to figure out how to put these together. And so from the drawings came plans, and then the execution of my furniture pieces. I wanted to challenge myself for these furniture pieces, so there isn't a right angle in any of them. They're all tapered and curved, and I'd like to show the skills that I have as an artist and as a craftsman.
I don't think to do justice to the work that's here, I don't think you can see it all in an hour or two. I think you have to come back and come back. This is my 4th time I've been in here seeing this work together, and every time I look at a piece, I see new things, and I think that's saying something.
I think it's important for the arts to be a part of every community. I think it's important to see it starting in our schools and working its way up through adults. I think it's important to have the arts in your community because it adds to the quality of life. It is an opportunity for people who aren't artists to participate on a different level with it, to interact with our artists and see their work. I think it enriches everyone's life to have the arts as a part of their community.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed the show, and we look forward to seeing you next week right here on Common Ground.
If you have a segment idea for Common Ground pertaining to North Central Minnesota, contact us at legacy@lptv.org or call us at 218-333-3022. To view this episode or any Common Ground segment, visit us at lptv.org/Common Ground. Individual segments or copies of Common Ground, please call 218-333-3020. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008. If you enjoyed this segment of Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground, consider making a contribution at lptv.org. If you have segment ideas pertaining to North Central Minnesota, contact us at legacy@lptv.org. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund by the vote of the people on November 4th, 2008.